Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And it's Saturday night, and you know what that means. It's time for the AEW Collision Event Center. And now, here's the man who's always been on a collision course with his brain half the time, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 1373 of the show. And it's the another edition of an event center, a combined AEW Collision and AEW Rampage. It'll be the fallout from from Dynasty Part 2. That's all I like to call it. And as you know, this was after the Celtics defeated the Miami Heat to take a 2-1 series lead. Meanwhile, however, the Boston Bruins defeated the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1. What a beautiful day, and it was a beautiful Saturday, a great Saturday for New England sports, let me tell you. Big day. We got the Red Sox mollywopping the Cubs 17-0. You got the Celtics beating the Heat, and now the Bruins just beat the Maple Leafs. If you're a New England sports fan like myself, you can't get much better than that. Let me tell you, it's going to be totally awesome. All right, we're going to talk about Collision and Rampage. As you know, there were lots of matches on the card. It was really cool. I know a lot of people say, why are you doing AEW? I like watching wrestling. Would it be AEW, WWE, TNA, whatever, you know? Anyways, Swerve Strickland decided to come out at Daly's pace to address the Jacksonville crowd. Prince Nana introduced him as the new World Heavyweight Champion. And Strickland was addressing the crowd. And he says, I'm going to make sure I bring honor to the title. He talked about his family and all. And how proud he's done. He says, it doesn't look like I know you, but he says, I'll make sure I hold the title with honors. And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to issue an open challenge to anybody who wants a shot at the title, who's hungry for it. And it'll be tonight in Collision. And offered to put the title on line. Claudio Castagnoli interrupts Strickland and said, I accept. But it'll be my house. So, then they had a Tony Khan injury update. Head and neck injuries, but won't be able to travel. He won't be able to travel to Winnipeg. And a lot of people are assuming that Kenny Omega, who was another EVP for AEW, could end up taking charge. If that's the case, the Young Bucks, I think that's what the Young Bucks are going to try to do, trying to act like the inmates running the asylum. Between the Young Bucks and Kazuchika Okada and then Jack Perry, those four stooges, Mo, Larry, Curly, and Shemp, well, they're going to learn the hard way what happens when you disrespect the man who basically buys the company. Yeah, you may be the EVPs, but I'm telling you one thing right now. Tony Khan runs that company, and once he comes back, well, let's just say this, Young Bucks, you're probably going to regret it. And so this will bring up the interesting fact of who's going to run things in AEW. If it's the elite, everything's going to be running their way, and it's like, and everyone won't get. I think that's why I think Kenny Omega may not be medically could not be medically cleared. Finally got that out. I don't know what the heck is wrong with me to compete, but he'll probably run things while he's recuperating from injury or whatever he's ailing them. So we'll see find out this Wednesday. By the way, the Unified Trios title on the line, the Bang Bang Gang, that will be Jay White and the Guns, Austin and Colton. Going up against Top Flight and Action Andretti. I like to call them Top Action Flight. That should be their name. And the Bang Bang Gang did retain their titles. And then the House of Black addresses Adam Copeland, who they accepted the Cope Open Challenge. The question is, though, which member of the House of Black will Adam Copeland defend the TNT title against this Wednesday? Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, or even Brody King, who's got a legit claim to become the number one contender to the TNT title. We'll find out this coming Wednesday. Meanwhile, Rey Fenix makes his return from injury as he took on the Beast Mortos, a.k.a. Black Taurus, And Ray Phoenix, after a hard-fought battle and almost had his mask taken off by Mortos, Phoenix ended up winning the matchup. A new member of the backstage broadcast team, Arcady Aura, interviewed Orange Cassidy about what his thoughts on Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta going at it in a parking lot brawl. And Chris Statlander, before he answers, Chris Statlander interrupts and says, hey, he needs us, let's go. Roosh makes his return from injury, took on Martin Stone, and Roosh ended up picking up the victory. But then he decided to attack Stone after the match to send a message loud and clear. Meanwhile, Arcady Aura once again interviewed the professor, Serena Deeb, and Serena Deeb is dead set on challenging the timeless one, Toni Storm, the lovely Toni Storm, for the AEW Women's World Championship. Gotta tell you, Serena Deeb is tough, and if I were Toni Storm, I'd study up on Serena Deeb. Speaking of the lovely, timeless one, and the shapely, the voluptuous, gorgeous Toni Storm. Yes, I'm simping after Toni Storm. Don't judge. I also have a crush on Hikaru Shida, Harley Cameron, and freaking Mina Shirakawa. Don't judge. All right. Or as some dude like Dinglenut once said, don't censor me. Anyways. Timeless Toni Storm took on Anna Jay in a non-title matchup. This was a heck of a matchup. And Mariah May was at ringside along with Luther. And Anna Jay ended up losing the match to Timeless Toni Storm. Timeless Toni Storm did pick up the victory over Anna Jay in this non-title matchup. Chuck Taylor then talked to Orange Cassidy, and Chuck Taylor says basically, he told Orange Cassidy, you and Chris Statlander, stay in the back. I got this. I'm doing it on my own. Understandable? Well, debut in AEW, the Grizzled Young Veterans, Zach Gibson, Liverpool's soon-to-be number one, and James Drake, formerly known as Jagger Reed, and Rip Fowler of the dyad of Schism to go up against the acclaimed Platinum Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. And Max Caster did his usual rap, and Anthony Bowens says, the acclaimed has a rise, scissor me, daddy ass. Too funny. That is hilarious. I do it, so hilarious. And the acclaimed and the former Trios champs ended up picking the victory over the Grizzled Young Veterans, which will not make the Grizzled Young Veterans very, very happy. And I think the Grizzled Young Veterans will be whining and crying as usual. Arcady Aura, very beautiful young lady, kind of reminds me a little bit of Jackie Redmond on Raw. Interviewed Katsuyori Shibata, who said via his Google Translate Alexa phone that he wants to fight the St. Channel Promotions by himself, but then Dale Garcia's interruptions and no. How about this? You and I will team up. What do you think? And through the Alexa Google Translator, okay, but say the last stands for me. So, the AEW World Title Online, Swerve Strickland versus Claudio Castagnoli. What a matchup this was. This could have gone either way. And, considering what happened to Bryan Danielson, I'm sure the Blackpool Combat Club will need a boost. That means half of Blackpool Combat Club has been injured. You got Bryan Danielson, and still we haven't heard a lot from Wheeler Yuta. So that's a big deal. Right now, Mox and Claudio John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli are holding down the fort for the BCC, Blackpool Combat Club, and Strickland did end up retaining the titles, but shook hands with Claudio Castagnoli. So we're going to AEW Rampage for this one. Chuck Taylor went one-on-one with Beretta in the parking lot brawl, and Beretta didn't end up winning the matchup, but he continued to attack Taylor, but then Orange Cassidy and Statlander told him not to do it, but then he grabs a monkey wrench and he looks at Orange Cassidy, this is your fault, shatters the ankle of Chuck Taylor, and Orange Cassidy went after him, but officials and security kind of held him back. I said, let him go. But Don Callis was watching the matchup. Is he thinking about adding Trent Beretta to the Don Callis family? Maybe that's where Don Callis is heading that way. Oh, hot dog head is always up to something. Once again, Arcadia Ora, the newcomer, like I said, the newest member of the broadcast, but now they released Dasha Fuentes. I wouldn't be surprised if the WWE tries to re-sign Dasha. Interviewed Kyle O'Reilly, who is looking forward to his next matchup. We don't know who. We don't know who he's going to face next. We shall soon see. Meanwhile, Thunder Rosa went one-on-one Deonna Purrazzo. This was a heck of a matchup for both women. But in the end, Thunder Rosa did end up picking up the victory. But then Deonna Purrazzo decided to blindside Rose after the matchup, and Rose fights back until security had to step in and separate these two individuals. And Arcadia Ora interviewed the Undisputed Kingdom, and now Mike Bennett and Matt Taven said get well to Tony Khan to cheer him up, and then Roderick Strong tells Wells Ospreay there's no chance you can beat me, the Messiah, the Backbreaker. Good luck with that one. Meanwhile, Big Bill, who wants to go under the learning tree of Chris Jericho, went up against Trevor Blackwell, who looks like Chris Garrison's bastard twin brother. Big Bill ended up picking the victory over Trevor Blackwell. Chris Jericho was watching the matchup, and he was clapping. He was pretty impressed with Big Bill. Then the main event. Daniel Garcia and Katsuyori Shibata, the wrestler, took on the team of Shane Taylor and Tiger Style Lee Moriarty of the Shane Taylor Promotions, with Anthony Ogogo joined on commentary. After a hard-fought match, Garcia and Shibata picked up the victory over Shane Taylor Promotions. Well, that is all the time we have on the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. Don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Who knows what I want to do tomorrow. So until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.